Hi everyone, I'm Alexis, I'm an inventor and I want to give you an update about my big spool driver, the device that is supposed to allow big spools in the AMS of the Bamboo Lab. Last time we built this one and I had this little gear motor and I got it more or less to run, but there is one issue, is that the little gears already have a significant backlash. So I guess that $5 motor might be a bit weak for long-running operations. And so that was one of the big changes I had to implement. And I mean, I don't know how many versions I printed, I stopped counting. That is one, that's another one, and I emptied the trash in between, so it's probably about 10. Now the current version here has a stepper motor in it. A stepper motor with a direct drive, which of course makes it much more durable for long-term operation, because we don't have the wear on the gearbox. Now you just witnessed something going wrong. Did you see how far it spooled? And now the filament got tangled down here and it's getting worse and worse now. Luckily I'm here to just save it, but we want the filament to go in here. But one big change I also made compared to the previous version I showed in the last video is, originally I was measuring the tension of the filament down here, which somehow worked, but it led to an overload of the AMS up here, because when the AMS was pulling, I was too slow to react with the big spool. And since I was too slow, the AMS had a peak in load, and then the AMS thought, oh, I'm overloaded, and then it started pulling back the filament and doing lots of crazy stuff. So that's why now I'm measuring the tension up here. You see the little tension measuring roll? Every time that there is tension, it will move down, and if it moves down, I detect the tension. Let's wait. You see, now it pulled in the filament, but there is no tension yet, so it didn't pull down the roll, and so it didn't trigger the motor to go forward. But the issue is that if down here I have somehow the filament tangled, up there I will have tension, and then the spool starts unwinding continuously and I end up with a huge mess. So I'm still working on optimization. I have quite a bunch of parameters I can set on my ESP32 to optimize tension and how fast I'm going forward and backward, but I still need to optimize these parameters. And in order to know what's happening, because I mean, you know, 3D prints can take hours, and I sat down here for hours watching it, but then I lost patience. So I took the good old OBS studio with two cameras. One USB camera is here watching what the spool is doing, and one other one is up here watching what the tension roll is doing. And so I have these two camera feeds into one video feed here in OBS, and I can just record it onto my hard disk, and so I could do like a 10-hour recording of what's going on. And if the next morning I'm coming down to a heap of spaghetti, can go look in the video what went wrong. And so that's how I'm debugging the system. And right now I just realized that sometimes I have issues with measuring the tension. The other issue is you see here, the filament has a twist in it, and that is because everything went wrong. Some of the filament fell off the roll like this, and if you pull it off the roll sideways without turning the roll, you will end up with a twist in the filament, which makes it like going like a corkscrew, which makes everything a bit harder to then pull it in, or it may lead to get entangled down here. So now the question is, do I have a problem because I have a messy filament, or would that problem also appear with proper filament? I mean, there's only one way to know, is more testing. But at least it looks more promising now to have the next version, and I'm sure at least I will not run into lifetime issue with the motor, with the little gear motor that just wears out. So I continue testing. I mean, you see it's running right now. And with more testing, I will hopefully get that system stable to run reliably for days at a time without ever tangling the filament and unspooling when it shouldn't unspool. And also the rewinding needs a bit of optimization to not be too fast, too slow, or too strong or too weak. But it looks much more promising with the tension measuring up there than the measuring I had down here before. Stay tuned for the next update, and thanks for watching.